So as in the last video we have discussed about the 7th A group elements. So today we are going to discuss about the 8th A group elements. Alright, this is the 8th A group and today we'll be discussing about that. So let me write here 8th A group elements are also known as are also known as, like they have the second name as well, known as noble gases or inert gases. We'll be talking about that as well, why they have gotten name noble gases. So noble gases, or these are also known as inert gases. Alright, these are also known as inert gases. So wait, I should write that as well, or inert gases. Alright, now why they have gotten the name noble gases or inert gases? Since they have their valence shell is filled with electrons, they neither wants to gain an electron or nor they want to lose an electron in order to complete the outermost shell, because their outermost shell is completed. Alright, as you can see here, when we talked about the first A group elements, like there was a need of 8 electrons, not 8 but 7 electrons to complete the outermost shell in order to make themselves stable. Alright, because they were having only 1 electron in the outermost shell, so they need 7 electrons to complete the outermost shell. And while talking about second A group, so second A group, in second A group the valence shell was having 2 electrons in each element of the second A group. So since they have the need of 6 electrons to complete the outermost shell in order to make themselves stable. Alright, in the third group, the valence electrons were 3. Alright, and they need more 5 electrons to complete their outermost shell in order to make themselves stable. Fourth A group, they all were having 4 electrons in the outermost shell, so 4 were needed to complete the outermost shell in order to make themselves stable. Then fifth A group, we talked about that as well. They were having 5 electrons in the outermost shell. In order to make themselves complete, they need to gain 3 more electrons. Alright, then we talked about sixth group element. So sixth A group elements were having 6 electrons in the outermost shell, and they need 2 more electrons in order to make themselves stable and complete the outermost shell. Then yesterday we talked about 7th A group as well, and they were having 7 electrons in the outermost shell. Fluorine was having 7 electrons, chlorine was having 7 electrons, bromine was having 7 electrons, all were having 7 electrons, and they were needing 1 electron to complete the outermost shell in order to make themselves stable. But now, as I talked about 8th A group, and we know that groups represents what? Groups represent the valence electron. So since these belongs to the 8th A group elements, so 8th A group will have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. So means they don't need to react with any other element in order to make themselves complete or in order to make themselves stable. So they don't need anything. That's why they are known as noble gases or inert gases, because they don't react with any element. They react with some elements in some conditions, but they don't react with any other elements, as sodium is reacting, fluorine is reacting in order to make themselves stable. Alright, so that's why they have gotten name noble gases or inert gases, just because they don't react with any other element in order to complete their outermost shell. So I should write here down why they have gotten noble gas, noble gas name. Wait, so this color is fine, just because their outermost shell or valence shell are filled with with electrons, and they don't need to react with any other element to in order to make themselves stable. That's why they are known as noble gases or inert gases. All right, that's why they are known as noble gases or inert gases. So we have gotten reason as well why they are known as noble gases or inert gases. Now let's talk about the elements which are present in the 8th A group, which are also known as noble gases. So how many elements we do have in the 8th A group, as I can count here with you people so that it can be clear to you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 elements we do have in the 8th A group. So I should write here the names as well. 1, wait, let me give the numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Alright, before going towards that, I should write here 8th A group elements. A group elements. Alright, elements. So the first element, as you can see here in the periodic table, we do have helium in the 8th A group. Alright, so helium I should write here, wait, with this color. So helium. So the first element in the 8th A group is helium, which is also known as noble gas. Alright, so second element, as you can see here in the 8th A group, is neon. So I should write this as well, neon. Alright, third, as you can see here in the 8th A group, is argon. So let me write this down here. Then fourth, we have krypton. Then what do we have fifth? As you can see here, xenon. So xenon. Then we have radon. And then what we have? Og, which is the oganesson. Alright, so these 7 elements are present in the 8th A group. Now let's talk about the atomic number. Not atomic number, but we are going to discuss about their symbols first, then we'll be discussing about the atomic numbers. So here I am making arrows so that I can write their symbols. As you can see here, helium is represented with capital H and small e. Capital H and small e. So I can write here capital S, small e. Then we have neon, and neon is represented with capital N and small e. Then we have argon, which is represented with capital A and small r. Alright. Then we have xenon, not xenon, but we have krypton, and that is represented with capital K and small r. Then we have xenon, and that is represented with capital X and small e. Then we have radon, which is represented with capital R and small n. Then oganesson, which is represented with capital O and small g. Now let's write their atomic numbers. So let me make here the arrows first. Alright, so now I am making arrows. Alright. So let's talk about the atomic numbers. As you can see here, the atomic number of helium is 2. Then the atomic number of neon is 10. Then the atomic number of argon is 18. Then krypton has an atomic number of 36. Alright. Then we have xenon, which has an atomic number of 54. Then we have radon, which has an atomic number of 86. And oganesson, which has an atomic number of 118. So these are all what? These are atomic numbers. So these are all atomic number which are generally represented with capital Z. represented with capital Z. Alright, so these are the atomic numbers. So now let's talk about the structure. Like what are the structure of the these noble gases. Alright, so let me give here the heading. Structure. I'm going with only one structure. I'm going with two first structures. So structure of first two elements or noble gases. Alright, so first we are going with the helium, then we'll be going with neon. I should write here helium, and it has atomic number of 2. Z is equal to 2. Then neon, which has atomic number of 10. Alright, so as you can see here, as I told you, periods represents the shells. So since helium is in the first shell, first period, so it will have only one shell, and neon is in the second shell, so it will have two shells. Alright, so I should write this as well. So it will have only one shell since it belongs to what? First period. First period. And neon will have two shells since it belongs to the second period. Alright, it will have two shells and helium will have one shell. So let's make its structure. What's the structure? Alright, so since it will have only one shell, so this is nucleus and this is a shell, and since it will have two shells because it belongs to the second period, so here I am making two shells. Alright, so let me use the white color so that I can write as well. This is the nucleus and here we have nucleus as well. So now let me write here the configuration so that we can put electrons according to that. So I'm making with this 2, 8, then 8, then 18, then 18, and then 32. Alright, 30. Wait. 32. Alright, so this is the electronic configuration of the electron. So since we do have two first, so two electrons would be there in the first shell, which is the K shell. So I am making here electrons. So 1, 2 means it is stable, like it has completed its duplet rule. So it has completed its duplet rule. So it is completed. Alright, so let's go towards the neon. So neon, like see the neon now. First shell will have always 2 electrons. 10 minus 2 is 8. So 8 are remaining. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it has completed its octet rule. So it is completed as well. Neither it has to gain nor it has to lose. Neither it has to gain and nor it has to lose. So since these both are completed, so they will not react with other so that it can complete. So these are the structure of the first two elements of the 8th A group. In the next video, then we'll start the B group, which is starting from here and then going there, ending here. Alright, so this was all for today.